lived in Houston, Texas for over 30 years, and as a native Houstonian, I think Houston is an exceptional place to live. Honestly, guys, I couldn't see myself living anywhere else but Houston, Texas, and I honestly don't want to live anywhere else but Houston. But not everybody feels the same. So in this video, I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of living in Houston, Texas, and make sure you watch this video to the end because I'm going to give you the number one thing I absolutely love the most about living in Houston. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Living in Houston, Texas channel. If you're new to this channel, it's everything you want to know about what it's really like to live in Houston, Texas. The up, down, left, and right. What it's like to eat, sleep, breathe, and even play here. If you're not new here, welcome back. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps everyone else looking for information like this easily find it. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time I bring you guys new hot Houston, Texas information. The first thing I really like about Houston, and I really love about Houston, is the diversity in culture. It's such a rich place to live, guys. You see all walks of people in every different culture here in the heart of Houston. So according to this article that was published by the usnews.com, Houston actually ranks number 7 amongst America's most diverse big cities. So not only are the people diverse here, but the food is actually diverse as well. You can literally find every type of cuisine, every type of restaurant here in Houston. So if you're a foodie and you love to try new restaurants, Houston is definitely a place for you. I personally live in a community called Sienna, and being honest, one of the reasons why I moved to that community because I was looking for a diverse place to live, right? I wanted my daughter to grow up around all different types of people, all different types of cultures and things like that, and we find that so much. Now, what I found is, honestly, no matter where you go in Houston, you really get that, right? Of course, some diversity ratings or rankings in certain area are different, and you can go to websites like niche.com to find out what the diversity rankings for specific areas are. But overall, in my personal opinion, that's the one thing that I love the most, that this is really a diverse place to live. Now, the second pro is the job opportunity, guys. So according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Houston's unemployment rate as of August 2022 is 4.6%. So that's actually pretty good. Some of the top industries here is the oil and gas industry, the medical industry, and the information technology industry is really growing and rapidly on the rise here. I personally used to work in the oil and gas industry. So before I started selling real estate, I was an oil and gas professional for 10 years. My husband is also an oil and gas professional. My mom is a nurse. So you kind of see, I just wanted to kind of show you how like a lot of Houstonians actually work very versely in these industries. So, you know, with us having one of the largest medical centers in the nation next to Boston, a lot of medical professionals do live here. Living in Houston is relatively affordable in my opinion. I've lived here all my life, so I really can't compare it to anywhere else, but just from like going, visiting, traveling places, I mean, even things like a cost of a beer, you know, I'll say if I go to New York, the cost of a beer is way more expensive than what I would pay for it here. So I do like the fact that the cost of living is fairly cheap compared to most cities. I, again, think it's actually quite reasonable. You can find affordable housing options throughout the city. There are plenty of grocery stores and restaurants that won't break the bank. Plus, there are a number of free or low-cost attractions that are perfect for families. That is one of the best things that I truly like about Houston, is that there's a lot of things to do for families that will not break the bank. One of our favorite things to do is go down to Discovery Green Park. It's a park downtown Houston, and it's really kind of made up of a lot of things. So you'll see creatives down there taking photos. They have big green spaces where the kids can just run and play. There's actually a small restaurant right in the middle of it where you can eat. A lot of food trucks pull up, snow cone trucks. They have splash pad areas. And my favorite thing in the wintertime is they have ice skating. So in all of this really doesn't cost that much to get into the park. It's absolutely free. Now, some of the attractions, of course, when you're paying for food and things like that, you do have to pay for those things, but it's a lot of cool things to do around the city that won't break the bank. So now let's go back to the housing costs to kind of put more of the housing costs into perspective as to what you can expect to pay for a home here in Houston. It's only about 5% above the national average. So according to the Houston Association of Realtors, as of August 22, the median home sales price is only $341,000. Let me explain to you what you will get for roughly that $341,000. So $341,000 for a brand new home here in Houston, Texas will get you roughly a 3 to 4 bedroom, 2 to 3 bathroom, roughly 1,800-ish square feet or so, give or take, probably a little bit more just depending on the area. But hey, that's a pretty nice size home for the price. So another pro about Houston is that there's a lot of things to do in Houston, from exploring the city's many museums and art galleries to cheering on our professional sports teams. You can definitely find something to do here. So we do have every major sports team, right? We have the Rockets, which is the NBA team. We have the Texans, which is the NFL team. We have the Houston Astros, which is our baseball team. And shout out to the Houston Astros, because I'm recording this video October 22, and tomorrow we start the World Series. Woo! But anyway, guys, we also have the Dynamo, which is our soccer team here. Also, our nightlife is very vibrant as well. A lot of bars, a lot of clubs. If you like to hang out, there's this one street called Washington Avenue where you can literally pub crawl. A lot of people just park, walk up and down the street. There's a bunch of bars, a bunch of places to eat and things like that. So if you're looking for a good time, whether it's entertainment, attractions, or nightlife, you can definitely find it here. So we talked about the good, let's talk about the not so good now. So one thing is the traffic. Traffic in Houston can be really bad. If you already live in Houston, I'm sure you're all too familiar with the city's notorious traffic problem, and rush hour can be a nightmare. It's not uncommon to see people spend hours, guys, in their car combating the traffic, trying to get from one side of town to another. Let me put one thing into perspective for you. From North Houston to South Houston, even when you're not in traffic, you can be driving for about 60 minutes, for a whole hour. So if you're not careful and, pay attention to when the traffic is truly in the, peak times for traffic, it can actually be a nightmare for you. So you really have to pack your patience when it comes down to the traffic, because it can take a toll on you mentally, right? So it's been said the average Houstonian spends about 48 hours a year in traffic. Can you believe that? But anyway, so our peak traffic hours are from 6 to 8 a.m. Then again, it starts to pick up around 4 to 6 p.m. Honestly, guys, there's really no way around the traffic unless you don't want to travel during peak hours. So honestly, it's really not a bad thing to get up and go to work extra early before that traffic hits, because you will spend a lot of time in traffic. So that's the first thing. The next con is the extreme heat, guys. Houston is located in Southeast Texas, which means we experience a lot of hot and humid summers and milder winters. So it gets really, really hot in the summertime, but it doesn't get that cold in the wintertime. I mean, that works for me. I don't like freezing weather, but I mean, it really does get hot, right? So the heat can actually be very oppressive, right? During the summer months, with the humidity, the heat index can get up to well over 100 degrees. And ladies, your hairstyles do not last in the summertime just because it's so humid outside. I've gotten used to it. Over time, you get used to it. You kind of know when and when not to go outside. Most Houstonians, they kind of stray away from the outdoors during the peak hours of the day when it's the hottest, especially around between noon to 4 p.m. I mean, these heats is extreme, right? And so we want to go outside. You want to make sure you go outside either early in the morning or late in the evening. We try to make sure we keep the kiddos out of the sun as much as possible too. Heat stroke is a very valuable thing, so we make sure you stay hydrated, and we use a lot of sunscreen. So again, if you don't like the heat, if you don't like extremely hot summers, Houston may not be the best option for you. So let's talk about another con, and that's property taxes, guys. I always make a joke and say that we could all afford $1 million home in Houston if it wasn't for property taxes. But since we have no state income tax, we really do make it up in other ways by paying heftier property tax. So in the city, the average property tax rate is about 2.5%. But when you go out into the suburbs, that can easily jump up to 3 to 4%. So I just want to take a moment to tell you guys how property taxes work in Houston, and if you have a mortgage payment, how they're factored into your mortgage payment. So every area in Houston, like I just kind of explained, has its own tax rate that's made up of various rates that you pay to different jurisdictions and things like that. School tax, mud tax, city, sewer, whatever the case may be. So every area has their own tax rate. Also, so what happens is you take that tax rate and you multiply it by the home value that the county assesses your value at the appraisal district, right? So the county appraisal district is going to come out every year and say, yeah, their house is worth this much. So you take that tax rate and you multiply it by the value that the county assesses, and that's going to be your yearly tax bill. Your yearly estimated tax amount. What happens is most mortgage companies want you to make sure you stay on top of your taxes, right? Because you can't lose your house for not paying your taxes. So what most mortgage companies do is they'll take your yearly tax amount, divide it by 12, and make you pay that amount in your mortgage payment. So you can have two exact same homes in two states, and in Texas you'll pay a much higher mortgage payment because your tax is factored into that mortgage payment opposed to other areas. So just something to keep in mind. Again, different areas have different tax rates, but if you do have a loan, more than likely the mortgage lender will want you to incorporate your taxes into your mortgage payment. So property taxes are a heftier thing here. Kind of decreases affordability in terms of what you can afford monthly. So like I said, when you're searching for a home, that's one thing we definitely want to factor in mind. Make sure you know about those property taxes because it is a heftier charge than what some other states do charge you. So Houston is really big, guys. It's a huge place to live, and it's gotten so large that it's really hard to navigate through the city without building more and more roads. So my next con is the toll roads, because these extra roads that they're building, these extra highways, they're not always funded by the local government. They're funded by us, the people. So every time we drive through them, we have to pay a toll road, right? So because of our growing population and to get where you need to go in a timely manner, there's more than likely going to be a toll road built, right? So we pay these toll roads. They build these toll roads, and they're really made for people to have easy accessibility to the suburbs. So you see them more so in the outer city. You really don't see them at all in the inner city. But if you're going out to the suburbs, you can more than likely expect to pay a toll. And being honest, you can expect to pay more than one toll. Every toll you pass through is about $1.25 each. And so if you're going across town, that you can easily rack up $5 to $7 a day in tolls. So one good thing about it is we have what we call easy tag. So basically it's just a decal that you put on your car, and you link your account to it. You go online, put your credit card or your debit card or something like that, and as you go through it, it scans your decal and it will just deduct it from your account. So you're not having to stop, give somebody money, wait in line and things like that. They really made it efficient, but you are honestly going to spend time going through these toll roads. If you try to avoid them, you absolutely can, but your commute will be much longer than if you just went through the toll roads. I've tried it. I even tested it out one time. Same exact commute, using the toll roads, going through the highways that have the tolls opposed to going through the toll roads. The highways that don't have the tolls. And my commute was like 25 minutes longer. So it does shell off your commute. I say you're paying for convenience, but either way, if you're driving in Houston, especially if you're driving in the suburbs, you're more than likely going to encounter some type of toll road. So just make sure you factor that into your automobile, gas, transportation budget. So I told you guys, if you stick with me, I would tell you the one bonus thing that I absolutely love about living in Houston. All Houstonians already know this, and if you're planning to move in Houston, this is indeed something you have to check out, and that's the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, guys. It is the biggest livestock show and rodeo in the world, and it typically starts at the end of February and runs through almost the end of March. It's a 20-day long event, and it's not just horses and cows. I know that's what y'all think we only have in Texas, right? But it's not that type of rodeo, guys. It's a huge carnival. They have daily concerts. You can find some of the best barbecue in the world at the world famous barbecue cook-off. There is all kinds of food. They have beer gardens. I mean, you name it, you can find it at the rodeo. Go Texan Day is a really huge event in Houston. So every year around rodeo time, all the kids go to school and they dress up in their Texans gear. Last year, my daughter, when she was in kindergarten, they took all of the kindergartners to a field trip. They have, at the rodeo, they have petting zoos, play area. I mean, you name it, you can think of it. It is a lot of fun. And like I said, native Houstonians already know the city shuts down for the rodeo at the end of February into the beginning of March. And for basically that entire time frame, it is nothing but rodeo talk all over the news, all over the TV, all over the radio. We are rodeo people, right? It's a lot of fun. It's something you definitely have to check out. So guys, my name is Nicole Handy and I'm the team leader of the Nicole Handy real estate team here in Houston, Texas. And look, we get so many people reaching out to us about their move to Houston. They text us, they call us, they email us, they even sometimes send us a smoke signal. I'm just kidding, but we absolutely love it. And you can do the same thing too. So if you're looking to make that move, send us a text, give us a call, or skip all of that and just use the link below to book a consultation with our team. Either way, we would love to help you make that move to the great Houston, Texas.